How do interviewers identify phony job applicants? That's today's question. Now, I wish I could give you a simple answer, but there really are a million and one ways that we do it. And I'll start by saying it starts with our experience because we've talked to a lot of people. I'll use myself as an example. I've been a recruiter for more than 40 years now. I've talked to hundreds of thousands of people. I've looked at even more resumes than that. My website says over 600,000. That's as many as I've been able to tabulate. There were plenty more before I started counting that have turned up. So, I'm involved with a lot of people now. Here's a couple of obvious ways. Number one, you claim credit for far more than you could possibly have done within a certain period of time. I remember one person who sent a resume to me many years ago claimed that he had designed and implemented like 25 major systems at a firm within 6 months of his joining. Help me understand how you do that. So you start to see the BS patterns. When you're actually interviewing someone, when you scratch beneath the surface, there's a lot of hemming and hawing or distraction or fumbling around rather than the clarity of the answer. And when you scratch even one layer down from that, man, your BS detector goes off something fierce because there's just something in the way the person's telling the story that lets you know that there's a bull there. Another way, references. You may give me a reference, but when I call the firm, that reference doesn't work there because I'd rather go through the corporate switchboard rather than directly to the person with their phone number that you give me. You may say they're a former employee, but I'll go to HR and find out whether or not they are a former employee and discover that you've been lying to me. So a lot of different ways that we find it. Here are a couple more. Let's just see. I just had a brain cramp. My apologies. So let's just end it there. I hope you find this helpful. It's an easy question because there's so many signals that job hunters give in the course of interviewing that lets you know that you're lying. So, and again, this is putting aside whether or not in a technical discussion, whether that's in engineering, IT, accounting, whether you can actually demonstrate that you have the knowledge that you're claiming to have the knowledge of. Book learning is different than the real McCoy. So you always want to be able to demonstrate that your experience is congruent with what's described in your resume and that there are people there to back it up. Take care.